All right, we're going to finish up this lesson in the second video, and I am not going to take too long. Hopefully you understand this, and if not, you can ask me in class. Okay, so first look at the graph. The y value represents the miles traveled, and the x values for x variable represents the hour. In this case, time, which is in hours. So this, we see that the slope is positive. So how would you describe this verbally? So this is how you would do it. You would say that this shows the distance traveled, in this case miles, okay, increases as the time, in this case hours, increases. Okay, so the more time we spend driving, then we can see that the miles traveled will increase. So verbally, this is how you would describe it in a complete sentence. Next example. So you see the graph, this has a negative slope, and we see that the y-axis represents the speed, and the x-axis represents the incline. Okay, so what's happening here verbally, in words is that this graph shows the speed decreases as the incline increases. Okay, so as the incline increases, we can see the speed going down or decreasing. So for the next part, on the previous video, I mentioned that when you have two lines that are parallel, that means they have the same slope. So in geometry, you use this symbol, you have two lines and then the arrows on the end, so that's how you know they're two lines and they're parallel. So in this course, which is Algebra 2, we're just going to use that symbol, okay, which is what I used yesterday. And then also, perpendicular lines, which you also saw in geometry last year, in this course, when you determine if two lines were perpendicular, you just drew that two lines intersecting each other, but then you drew that box, which implies it's a right angle that gets formed, or right angles form at the intersection of two lines that are perpendicular. So I'm going to use this symbol instead of this here. Okay, so when you see me write this down, that means it's perpendicular. So then yesterday I gave you that the slope of any line parallel to this one here has to be 2/3 because they gotta have the same slope. But when it comes to perpendicular lines, that you do the opposite sign, so you change the sign of a fraction, if it's a fraction or if it's a whole number, and then you take the reciprocal of that fraction, or just flip it, okay, which I don't like, but that's what you've heard before. So in this case, since we know the slope of this line is 2/3, then we change the sign. This is positive, we make it negative, and then we take the reciprocal of 2/3, which is 3/2. And that is all for this lesson. I'll see you in class. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.